Started.
All right, Basquiat. See what he's playing. Okay, what have I played as black recently? I did a Sicilian, French. How about a Scandinavian? It's not on my recent playlist here. Knight f6. And he's defending it. So this can lead to a gambit. Or he can actually play d4 here and get into a flavor of... Oh, he's doing none of the above. Let's see, what is this? I guess I'd take, and then I'll get my pawn back at least. If I don't take, this is kind of restricting the motion of my pieces. See, I wanted him to take so I can develop a knight, or if he doesn't take, then I have to take because I need to clear out the center a little bit so my pieces have some squares to go to.
Check.
So this should be okay. He can give me an isolated pawn here, the c pawn, but he has an isolated d pawn. Shouldn't be too bad. I couldn't block with the bishop because that would leave the knight hanging, I think. Well, that's not entirely clear. Let's see. If I had played bishop here and he had played knight takes knight, I could have played bishop takes bishop. So maybe I could have played that way. But this way, if he wants to give me that isolated pawn, he has to give up the bishop pair. Just wants to pile up on it. Okay, let's take the knight. That hits the queen, so... well, he could still take here because he does that with check. Bishop takes check. Pawn takes, queen takes check, bishop here, and then queen takes knight. And he wins a pawn that way. Let's see, is there something else I can play? If I play bishop here, I mean, the material is even right now, right? He's got 3 pieces and I've got 3 pieces because I took a piece. I took a knight and he took a knight. And I'm a pawn down because he... no, the pawns are even. So bishop here. If we trade bishops... oh, and then he grabs the knight. That's not working. Oh, but his queen is hanging. So bishop here, bishop takes, queen takes, king takes. Then he takes the knight. Yeah, so I guess I have to take. Well, I will get a lot of development in exchange for the pawn. So I guess this is... I'm just going to play this for compensation here, see how well I do. I can play bishop to b5 here to prevent him from castling, but he can't castle right away anyway, and I do have the bishop pair in exchange for the pawn. Oh, that's dumb. That was truly dumb. Oh, man. Okay. Couldn't block with the other bishop because my g-pawn was hanging. So now I'm down 2 pawns for not a whole lot. And I can't seem to I can't seem to develop anything. So I'm going to play f3 to kick his queen, but I couldn't play f3 right away because it would have left my bishop hanging. But after I play f3, then I can move this bishop and castle. Unless he goes queen to b, and g3 rather. Queen g3 might be an idea here. No, he went there looking at my rook, okay? Well, where's a good square for the rook? Maybe here on the d file, lining up with the queen. Let's see. Fortunately, he has no light squared bishop, so he can't skewer my queen and my king here. Okay, so I can develop. Let's get the bishop out. And let's castle. So now I can play something like bishop to f5, hitting the queen. Queen here check, I take it. Queen elsewhere. He's not really threatening to take this bishop anyway because because I take his rook. So maybe I can do something like this. Defend my bishop with the rook. Threaten discoveries against his queen. I do have a lot of active pieces here, but he just opened up a line for his bishop, so he's developing some activity as well. This pawn on f3 maybe is a bit, f6 is a bit funny, but it keeps his knight out of these squares, so it has some useful purpose. Okay, he defended the rook and attacked my bishop. So let's see if I take, knight takes, queen takes, rook takes. Does not look good. Could play bishop to f4 first, so his queen has to move again. And his queen just takes my bishop, so let's drop the bishop back to a square where it's defended. And let's see what I can do here. Okay, I'm thinking of something like bishop c7, queen d6, checkmate on h2. It's not actually checkmate because the king can escape here, but it might be good for something. Okay, yeah, so he saw I was threatening to take his knight. He defended with the queen, so at least I won't mess up his pawns. His bishop is now pinned, but, well, he can take with other pieces there. Okay, so let's go here. Go for the dark square attack. Yeah, he defended. Good. Good for him, spotting that. So now, bishop or queen? Let's think. Queen to c6 threatens the knight. And it's not so easy to defend, actually. There's also queen to d6 or bishop e6 or bishop to e6 threatening this pawn. But he can just move it. It creates more weaknesses, but maybe this is even stronger. I don't know where the knight is going. The knight could go to h. Oh, he defends with the king. Okay, that's interesting. So now can I play one of these pawns forward to disrupt that knight? I have to worry about rook to c1 here. Yeah, well, he plays it. So I might be threatening f4. Pawn takes, bishop takes, and he can't take back with the bishop because it's pinned against the queen. And the queen can't easily move. This knight's in a pretty nasty pin now. Or maybe it's even stronger to play g5, g4. I defended the bishop this way. That's a nice move, I guess. Let's see. So pawn to f4, and he takes. I take with the bishop. I wonder if that opens up the G file towards his king, so I guess it's good for that. I was just wondering how to take advantage of that. I don't immediately see the best way to deal with that. Maybe queen to b6 to come over here to g6. Okay, he wants to penetrate with his rooks. You know, it'd be even better to bring a rook over here to the G file, but yeah, it's not so easy to see how to do it. Okay, queen here is what I'm going to try. The problem is I'm taking pressure off the knight, so now actually the king is free to move away from the knight, leaving it only defended by the queen and even unpinning it. So the knight can actually move now. After he moves the king, the knight will be able to move, I mean. Queen g6 check, but well, after that maybe there's some other moves to follow. Getting over to the h file here and looking at the h3 pawn might be an idea. Well, at least I made a game of it after giving up a couple of pawns for no reason. The first pawn I thought I had compensation for, but the second pawn was pretty awful. Yeah, queen to g6 to h5 is kind of a double threat because it once again threatens the knight and also threatens here. King can go back. King can go back to g7, g2 rather. Okay, took his queen off of that. Oh, okay, he's unpinning so that he can take my bishop. I can still throw in the check, right?
Check.
And after the check, where's his king going? He can't stay in touch. Yeah, I think he made a mistake. He should have kept his queen defending the knight. So after the king moves, I can take the bishop. He has to take back with the pawn. Oh, we could take back with the rook. So I can take here with the queen, with the bishop. He can take my bishop, but then I have check and mate. So I think this is okay. I think it actually wins a piece because I don't think he has time to take the bishop. Queen g2 check, king goes here, queen g1 mate because there's no escape. Yeah, okay, interesting game. I will upload this and do a post-mortem. See you guys later. Bye.